Last week, a friend told me she has no symptoms of perimenopause, none at all. From where I was sitting, I could count 7, and nothing is wrong with her, and nothing is wrong with you. The list she was checking herself against has 3 things on it: hot flashes, night sweat, and weight gain. When 17,000 women were asked what midlife actually feels like, the 2 most common answers, fatigue and exhaustion, were not on the list. 6 symptoms nobody told you were perimenopause. Check each one against your own body as we go. Here is the list most of us were given: hot flashes, night sweat, weight gain, maybe bad sleep. That is the picture a woman finding herself in a meeting. If that is not happening to you, you conclude you are not there yet. My friend concluded exactly that. Now here is the other list. Researcher at the Mayo Clinic working with the cycle tracking app Flow, they asked 17,500 women aged 35 and over across 158 countries what they were actually experiencing. Look at what sits at the top of that second list. Fatigue at 83%, physical and mental exhaustion at 83%, irritability at 80%, low mood at 77%, digestive changes at 76%. Now look back at the first list. The 2 most common experiences are not on it, not lower down, not in a small print, absent. And here is what happened in a woman's mind when a symptom has no name she accepts. It does not disappear, it gets reassigned. The tiredness becomes, I'm lazy lately. The fog becomes, I'm losing my edge. The fuse becomes, I'm becoming a horrible person. When the real name is missing, there is only one place left to send the symptoms, and it is you. This is not a small confusion. A second study published this July in Menopause, the Journal of Menopause Society. They asked 7,500 American women over age 35 whether they knew the stage their body was in. 1 in 3 said they did not know. Among women 40 to 44%, it was 42%, almost half. And when researchers read their rating answer to find out why, the number 1 reason by a wide margin was not a lack of interest, it was a symptom confusion. They could not tell what belonged to what. Before we start, one sentence of biologic that makes all 6 make sense. Perimenopause is not a decline, it is a fluctuation. For 5 to 10 years before your final period, estrogen does not fade politely. It spikes and drops, sometimes inside the same week. And estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. There are receptors for it in your brain, in your gut, in your temperature regulation, in your mood chemistry, in your energy system. When that level swings, everything holding onto one of those receptors swing with it. Your cycle can say be regular. Why this is happening? That is why the checklist in your head keeps clearing you, and why we need a better one. Check 1 as we go. The tiredness that sleep cannot fix. You sleep, maybe not perfectly, but enough. And the tiredness is there before the day starts, like it arrived earlier than you did. This is the single most reported experience in that study of 17,000 women. Fatigue and exhaustion both at 83%, ranking above every other symptoms you were actually warned about. Fluctuating estrogen changes how your brain and your cells produce and spend energy. That is a supply problem, not a motivation problem. What to do tonight? Stop treating it as a debt you repay with discipline. Write down for a week when it is worst. You are not fixing it yet. You are collecting evidence. The two most common experiences of midlife are missing from the perimenopause list you were given. Researchers asked 17,000 women aged 35 and over what they were actually living with. Top of the list, fatigue 83%, physical and mental exhaustion at 83%. The list you were handed said hot flashes, night sweat, and weight gain. So when the exhaustion arrives and the hot flushes do not, a woman does not say, this might be hormonal. She says, what is wrong with me? Wrong question and wrong suspect. Check two as we go. The fuels that trips before the thought arrives. The irritation comes first and the reason comes second. You hear yourself snap and then going looking for why. 80% of those women reported it. Estrogen helps regulate serotonin, the steering chemical of your mood. When estrogen swings, your buffer thins. The reaction genuinely arrives before the storage does. What to do about this? Separate the chemistry from the character. When it happens, note the time and the day of your cycle, not to excuse it, but because a pattern that tracks your cycle is a hormone talking, not a personality failing. Check three, the 3 a.m. wake up with your heart going. Asleep at 11, wide awake at 3, heart a little louder, mind already running. Sleep problems sit at 76%. Overnight, at estrogen and progesterone dip, the brake on your stress system weakens. Cortisol can surface hours earlier and it arrives like a starting gun. What to do about this? Do not diagnose yourself with insomnia yet. Log the wake up time for 2 weeks. If it is oddly consistent, the same hour most nights, that regularity itself is information for the conversation we get to in a minute. Check 4. The task that used to take 20 minutes now takes an hour. You open the document and your focus slides off it. Check 4. The task that used to take 20 minutes now takes an hour. You open the document and your focus slides off it. You walk into a room and stand there. This one frightens women the most, and it is explained to them the least. So I'm not going to just tell you about it. I want you to hear it from Dr. Sophia Lubin, an obstetrician-gynaecologist and hormonal specialist, describing her own week on her own podcast.
I could not finish a single thing. I just couldn't finish a single thing. And I was like, oh my God, like, holy cow, like my ADD is on fire. And why? Like, what is the trigger? What is happening?
A hormonal specialist, a week of searching for the trigger, and it took her friends to point out the answer. Listen to what she told them when they did.
And then I started talking to another couple of my friends, and they were like, when's the last time you got your hormones? And I said, hormones, girl, that's not the problem. Are you listening to me? I'm not focused.
It's about my brain.
That is a specialist misattributing her own perimenopause. That is how strong the pull of a wrong explanation is. And if it can hold her, then what happened to you was never ignorance. It is a missing name. Estrogens support the brain network that hold focus and retrieve words. When it swings, that flickers. What to do about this? Write down roughly when it started. It started around my periods changing. It's one of the most useful settings you can bring to your doctor. An OBGYN could not recognize her own perimenopause. A hormonal specialist, she described her week of being unable to focus, unable to finish a task, and her explanation was her ADD acting up. Her friends had to ask, when she last checked her hormones. And she told them hormones were not the problem. A specialist reassigning her own symptoms to a wrong cause. What chance was the rest of us given? None. That is not a knowledge failure. That is a missing name. And you cannot connect a symptoms to a name you were never given. Check 5. They moved deep without a story. Low for no reason you cannot point to. Anxious with nothing to be anxious about. 77% reported low mood and 75% anxiety. You keep auditing your life for the cause, marriage, job, kids, and the audit come back clean, which somehow make it worse. Sometimes the honest answer to what changed is your chemistry date. The same estrogen and serotonin link from check 2 runs deeper here. What to do about this? Proportionate care. If it is present or it ever dips towards hopelessness, that is a doctor conversation soon. Not because you are broken, but because mood that track your hormonal transition is treatable. And suffering through it quietly is not a virtue. Check 6. Your gut changed the rules. Bloating you cannot explain. Food that were fine for 40 years suddenly are not. 76%. And here is the one almost nobody connects. Because who put digestion and menopause in the same settings? Your gut does. It is lined with estrogen receptors that help govern how it moves and what it tolerates. When the hormones swings, the rules change. What to do about this? Before you eliminate half of your diet, add this to the same 2 weeks log as everything else. If the gut changed, move in with the tiredness and the 3 a.m. wake ups. They may all be one guess, not 6. So what do you actually do with all of this? Not a protocol with 11 supplements. And the first one costs you 10 minutes tonight. Step 1, to-list check. Write down the 3 changes in your body or mind that have bothered you most this year. In your own words, whatever you have been calling them, they ask one question of each. Will I have put this on a perimenopause list? If the answer is no, you have just found a symptoms that may have been sent to the wrong address. That is the whole exercise. You are not diagnosing, you are unassigning blame. Because researchers asked 17,000 women what midlife actually feels like. And the top answers, fatigue and exhaustion at 83%, appeared on almost nobody's list. If your answer is no, the symptom may not be a verdict on you. It may just be at the wrong address. Step 2, track briefly against your cycle. 2 lines a day for 2 weeks. What show up and where you are in your cycle. If you still have one, attribution is not a failing. It is a pattern. A symptom that moves with your cycle has assigned its own name. And if your cycle has gone irregular, track anyway. Irregularity plus this symptom itself is part of the picture. Step 3, and only now the doctor. Bring the list from step 1 and the log from step 2 and open with one sentence. These are new to me. And I want to know if they could be hormonal. You are not asking to be prescribed anything. You are raising one question that, according to the research, over half of us certain women never get to. Because nobody, including sometimes their doctors, makes the connection out loud. You will be walking in with a better attribution data than most consultations ever see. Here is where I want to leave you. Knowing what a symptom belongs to is not the same as fixing it. But you cannot build a plan on a wrong diagnosis. And for a lot of women, for years, their wrong diagnosis was you. Your character, your discipline, your attitude. Their diagnosis was wrong. And it was never yours to carry. That is not a weakness, that is biologic. A transition with a name, a mechanism, and a number that simply was never explained to you in full settings. Comment question if you missed it. Which check did you recognize and what name had you been using for it?